Hey, everybody. Okay. How are you doing? Happy Friday. I guess I should prepare for the fact that this is going to be a very slow live because it's 10 o'clock on a Friday. Although maybe some of you are already off from work. I don't know. I figured I'd take the risk and go and see what kind of folks are on at this time. Today's a hard day as it is, so I'm not going to be able to go live tonight, so I figured I would try to go live today. Hey, Barry. Yeet? What's a yeet? Um, just having a little yogurt this morning. A little boring. Didn't taste that great, but oh well. That's the joys of weight loss surgery, is that you're not gonna. No, it's coffee flavored. It's, this guy here. They always say they prefer. Yeah, it's not great, but well, Greek yogurt's weird. That's what it is. You know, Greek yogurt's kind of weird because it's thick and it's like meh. But it's not bad. I mean, coffee flavor is not bad. I'm a little, you know, but oh well, that's life. I know the bariatric surgeons and nutritionists prefer the patients. Hey, Justin, good morning. They prefer the bariatric patients to have Greek yogurt. I'm not sure why. Hey, Heather, good morning. Well, today's just, one of those days that's just kind of rough. So, and my kids are home today, so I didn't think I could go live later. This whole COPA thing kind of has us confused about what can be done and what can't be done, I mean, it's quite obvious my channel is not made for children, but and I don't intend to make my children for children, but they I guess they deem it made for kids if you just have a kid, or I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm still deeming my channel not made for children because I know for damn sure it's not. Oh, I hear the mailman. I ordered Jacob that stupid ass Ryan's Toy World doll. Here's the kicker with Walmart. I'm gonna throw this out there. Now, mind you, Walmart has, ship to store, right? I did that one time with Walmart, and it was like the biggest epic disaster ever. It took them over an hour to find my order. So I swore I would never do that with Walmart again. Now I know Target and Kohl's, they have people who shop the store to get the items. I don't even think the item was even eligible for that because usually site to store means it's something that's in the store and then you got people, shopping around for it. So I don't think that this item was even an option for that. But then they get you here, So it's free shipping for orders $35 or more. Usually it's more than that. But I guess for the holidays, people just want to order one thing at a time or whatever. So I go to order this Ryan doll for Jacob for Christmas. And it was just a few dollars short of getting the free shipping. How freaking annoying. So I said, all right, well, let me just get a bag of, dog treats or something for Frankie. And the kicker here is, you have to order $35 worth of stuff to get free shipping, but they don't ship the items together. Good morning, Go Fish Office. How you doing this morning? Isn't that crazy, though? They get you there. Your item is not eligible for free site to store, but you get free shipping if the item is $35. Yeah, shipping is expensive. Hey, Jamie, good morning. I can't wait to get your mail too. We'll have a live, I think. 23rd. That's Monday. No, we should be good. I'm kidless on Monday. So, I know. Today's a rough day for me, so I could tell you I totally get it. Yeah, you know what? Anything that has a tracking number that comes to this address automatically comes up on that app that I have, because the lady upstairs stealing the mail. So I should have at least 1 or 2 packages coming today anyways. That it did say there was something else being delivered today. I think it was the Ryan thing. I ordered that green palette, the one that I didn't get from BoxyCharm, because BoxyCharm, they got us good this month, because what they did was they gave us the big blue palette and the Boxy Lux, and then BoxyCharm had 2 variations of that palette, the smaller ones. So you kind of want all. All right, problem solved. I didn't realize my phone had the Wi-Fi turned off, so it's fixed. We're back. Um, what a day. It's already starting out, and I'm like a little wonky. It's hard. No, it was me. Last night when we went to the Christmas party, the building that we were in didn't have good. Oh no, is it black? Oh, I hope not. I don't want to have to restart. Oh no. Is the screen black? Uh-oh. Let me know so I can restart. Okay, it's normal? Okay. Yeah, because I forgot I didn't realize I didn't turn my Wi-Fi back on my phone this morning. So we were at the party last night, and the place didn't have good. Nope, ew. That's why I don't want to eat. Yuck. Yogurt's gross. Um, yeah, there's no Wi-Fi there. So anyways, today is a really rough day. So I'm just like, So trolls, you want to come troll me today? Have at it. I don't care. So today's a day that I dread all year. Today is Jillian's birthday. If you've been following along, some of the streams, I talk about it a lot. 5 years ago, my kid's dad hired a hitman. Hi, Bangladeshi Canadian mom. Good morning. 5 years ago, my kid's dad hired a hitman and got away with it. I went to the police, and they didn't want to do anything. And uh, and today's a very interesting day. I'm gonna get to that, after I explain this, because something very interesting happened in the community. So it's kind of, I got you, Jamie. That autocorrect, man, they get me good. Autocorrect must really hate me, because I create my own words too. I say assholery or piggyishness or something. So 5 years ago, I was assaulted in my home, which resulted in a child I could not keep. I did take that, what's it called, the Plan B pill. I don't know if you've caught up with that show Shrill on Hulu. I had no idea that Plan B pill doesn't work for people who are overweight either. It doesn't work if you're on antibiotics or you're overweight. So, and I was given that pill as a sample one day, and I didn't buy it. It was a sample given to me and by Planned Parenthood, and you would think that they would explain it so you took it right. So, with that said, I'm going to spread some awareness here on that pill. I'm not saying it doesn't work for everybody. I'm not saying it doesn't, but know what you need to do in order for it to work. You can't be overweight, and you can't be on antibiotics. And if you do take it, you do need to go get checked out 2 weeks later. These are all things that were not explained to me when I took it. Because if I had, had that explained, then, maybe I would have done something differently. However, things do happen for a reason, and, you know, um, a nice couple a nice young couple. See, that's the strange thing from what I understand is there's not a lot of young couples out there who are adopting because, it takes time for people to realize that they have fertility issues. So this was a rare situation. I mean, I also want to bring light to the idea that there really aren't a lot of people out there looking to adopt. That's a whole lie. Because if we're gonna talk about adoption, I'm going to lay it all on the table here. The whole long line of people looking to adopt, that's a lie. It doesn't exist. Not here in New York, anyways. There's no long lines. In fact, there's so few people looking to adopt that the agencies, there's not actually a lot of agencies here either. There's like 2 or 3, and they all share. No, not here. I mean, no. Here's the thing is that actually foreign adoption is actually a lot more popular than domestic adoption. Um, I'm I mean, I don't think it's any cheaper or anything like that. It's very expensive to adopt a child. It's very expensive. It costs a lot of money. There's a very huge screening process, and you know, not just anyone can do it. So I guess that plays a major role. No, there's no long lines. I had a choice between three families, three, and they were all from different agencies because they all have to share. There's so few people applying to adopt now that the agencies have to share potential families with each other, which is kind of sad. So there is that whole lie of that. And there was a video a couple years ago. It was actually around Christmas time, actually, that came out. There were 2 videos that had come out. One was adoptive parents, and people were all ranting and raving over this video because they got to adopt this child. The only mention of the birth mom is she signed her rights over. I think that's pretty fucking rude. That's another thing is that birth moms are taken advantage of. Nowadays ladies are trying to find ways to not do that too. I mean, I'm not talking about abortion. I'm talking about, there are actually advocates out there who will try to work with a birth mom so she doesn't have to do that. There's a lot of birth moms out there who will also do that because, adoption is trauma. It's traumatic. Supposedly it's traumatic for children as well. The children as well. A lot of kids who are adopted end up having, mental health issues and such. I mean, I don't like to think about that idea. I would think that this child would have suffered more in my care than she would where she is now. I mean, she hit the parental lottery, She, the mom, she's a special ed teacher, and the dad, he's a Homeland Security officer. So, and she was the first grandchild on both sides of the family. I mean, now I think she has she has twin brothers now. I mean, you have to also remember, birth moms are taken advantage of. I have to throw that out on the table, too. If we're talking about it, we're laying it all on the table. Sometimes I'm taken advantage of in this situation, too. It does come up from time to time, And the thing is, with the birth moms are not protected people. They're not protected by the law. They're not protected by the contract that they sign. Once you sign your rights over, that child is no longer yours. That's all null and void. So if you were to sign like an adoption agreement where, you have visitation, the adoptive parents can turn around at any moment and say, nope, we're not doing this. I don't want her. I don't want this lady near my child. She signed her rights over. She's done. And she can't really fight it either. The court's not going to do anything for her. So there is that too. I mean, I don't have that. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to, because the thing is, it's already hard enough to raise two kids with somebody and share. And he's not going to date any ladies, the kid's dad, because that's not his gig. But I have to deal with his mom. And it's hard to watch your child being taken care of by somebody else. I'm already dealing with that, with this situation. No, oh no, it's not a year. No, it's like 6 months, and even then, once you sign the paperwork. Okay, so here's the gig. You have 6 months, not year, and the thing is, so they have you sign your rights over right away. That's immediate. You have 6 months to change your mind. You really essentially only have 30 days. You have 30 days to change your mind. And then after that, it's 6 months on top of that. But once you sign the rights over and you decide to change your mind before that 6 months is up, then you're going to be involved with CPS, and, they're going to be doing full-on investigations. And yeah, no. You really only essentially have 30 days to change your mind. Without the issue of being investigated, and you have to prove yourself and things like that. I mean, that's what I went through here. Hey, Bible Study for Life, good morning. But yeah, so the whole there's definitely no year. They're not going to give you a year to change your mind. No. You're lucky you get 30 days at this rate. I mean, in my case scenario, technically they could contact the birth fathers too. They can contact the birth fathers and have him. He would have to sign over his rights too. But I made it so that didn't have to happen because it was a result of sexual assault. So I actually really didn't have his, contact information anyways, and nor was I willing to give it. However, I had to stay silent for a really long time because, God forbid, he did find out in that 6 month time, he could essentially contest the adoption. No, I don't run into him. Well, not in person, anyways. I mean, there's the occasional, Facebook message, which I don't understand. I mean, the kid's dad. I mean, I unfortunately have to continue to have a relationship with that guy, but, but what the hell happened to my laptop charger? Oh, there it is. Jacob was sleeping on my couch. And uh-oh, Frankie, you're stuck. You may want to move. Oh, Lord. Come here, girl. Come here. Okay. All right, here she comes. She's coming. Frankie's coming. Oh, Frankie's coming. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Oh, whoops. I had the phone turned the wrong way. Here she is. Here she is. Yeah. The service pup. There she is. Yeah. She had her church cheeseburger rollie yesterday. Yeah, she had one the day before that too. Yeah. I got hot dogs in the freezer for you. Oh. Yeah, she's a good girl. So yeah, so there's a lot of misconceptions about it. I mean, the other thing is, you got this TV show running around, Teen Mom. Is that the one where Caitlin's on? Caitlin and what's the boyfriend's name? Tyler. Caitlin Tyler. Yeah, I think she's Teen Mom OG. Yeah. So that's another problem, is that, when you place a child up for adoption. Good morning, Need Gore. When you place a child up for adoption, that's another thing, is that you're pretty much left to your own self. They don't provide any therapy or groups or anything like that, at least not in my state. That's a problem, because, people don't think that they're Hey, Joshua Williams, good morning. See, that's the biggest thing is that, most of these agencies, look at this. Look at this. Hold on. Let me see if I can catch that right here. Did I get it? I got it. Nope, I don't. I don't. Ugh, forget you. Um, but, anywho, that's the thing is most of these adoption agencies are run by the Catholic Church. And, the Catholic Church is very big into, in a time of need in life, you need to pull yourself up from your bootstraps and carry on. So they don't provide any therapy programs for birth moms. They come more anyways. I don't know. Some reason they're loving me these days. I'll have to call. I think I have one box left of black dye, so I'll have to throw it in there before Christmas. But so that's that, so when you place a child up for adoption here in New York anyways, and I see it a lot in some of the Facebook groups, there really isn't a lot of programs out there, support programs. However, after, having many experiences with some of these Facebook groups, I probably would not want to be anywhere near any support groups in person because there's some birth moms out there who will trash newer ones that think, oh, well, I did the right thing. And, listen, I don't know of any other better solution that could have come of what happened here. Um, when I was sexually assaulted, I did not press charges because I was afraid. I mean, I had gone to the police already before that happened with the text messages saying that this guy was a hired hitman and they didn't want to listen. So why would I go about and pressing charges for that? And then I have to face this person. And then if they did find out, about, that kid, then that would have been a problem. Well, that would have been evidence for one. And, two, it just, no, it would have been a big mess. And I could have lost my other two kids because, this person was in my life and, I mean, who knows that they're going to rape you, that you don't know that, but it does. It happened, and he was never abusive to the kids. It was just he was a hired hitman. I didn't know. Anywho, so yeah, there's literally no support for birth moms here. There's no hey Wonston. Oh, I'm glad you've been busy. 'Tis the season to be busy, Oh, I'm supposed to get a package today. Hope I have to go check out there in a minute. But I'll take you guys outside. I think that's a nice one out there. Yeah. So anyway, so that's a thing. The cops, they weren't really willing to help me to do anything in the first place. So unfortunately, with this whole mess, I've had to lose a lot of friends. There are people out there who can't have children, and I wouldn't give the child to them because I don't want to look at this kid all the time, That's hard, It's hard raising kids with somebody you don't even like, and then to give your child to somebody you already know, and then you have to look at that child all the time, I couldn't do that. Hi, Cam C. At the time, he was getting the Social Security award letters and stuff. The retro checks and stuff. This guy would always come back around when there was court or something, which leads me to believe the kid's dad was getting money. Hey, Hamilton, good morning. He had money then. He doesn't have money now. He probably wasted all his money on that. This morning I just saw on wow, that's awesome, Hamilton. I hope you get there. Well, we have 7 in here. Hey, Trish. I appreciate that. So actually, I just read an article today. We have a problem with the police department in this area. And this is not for me I'm not cop bashing or saying they're all bad because I don't believe that in any way, shape, or form. But there was just a post on Facebook that said that they just shot and killed a man in the area because, he was running from the police. But, rather than apprehend him, they shot him. I have a bad feeling this is going to turn ugly. But you know, the other reason, you know, the cops didn't work. They don't like domestic violence people. You know, they don't like domestic violence ladies. They don't want to help them because you know what? They're going home and doing it themselves. So there were times, you know, I had that problem, you know, where I call the police. It was quite often. I had a restraining order against the kid's dad, and he had people calling me, telling me to drop charges, and the officer wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. It was against the restraining order, but he wouldn't do it. Um, in fact, the 3 nights after that, one incident, there was a lady down the street. She had a restraining order against her abusive ex-boyfriend, and she called the police because he had, you know, showed up. He showed up at the house, and the officer told her basically the same thing. I'm not gonna lock him up every time he shows up here, even though she had a restraining order, and he ended up going back that night and killing her, the kids, and himself. The precinct is getting sued still for that. There's also the case of Joanna Bird here on Long Island, too. And again, I'm not saying they're all bad. I'm not saying they're all good, but, you know, there's good and bad in everywhere. But, you know, domestic violence victims are still, like, they're not up here. They're not taken care of by the police, you know. And a lot of, you know, I just want to throw this out there too, is that, you know, one of the reasons that women don't leave is because, I mean, at least in my case, the cops won't let the women take the children with them. If you try to leave at nighttime, the cops will say the kid's got to stay there. The kid's got to stay there. They're not gonna force a child out of their home. I've been through that many times. Yep. Where, you know, you try to leave, and you know, you try to take the kid with you, and then the cops come and say, no, you lady have to leave, and if you want the child back, you have to go to the court tomorrow morning and file for custody, because we are not going to force the child out of the house. So, you know, you know, there's a lot of that. That's how it is. That's how they pull it. Yep. Yep. It's happened. That's happened to me quite a few times. Yep. And me being me, because I have mental health issues, you know, that doesn't help my case either. So that's that, you know. If anyone ever wonders why, you know, women don't just leave, that's one of the reasons. They make it hard for women to leave, because when they go to leave, the cops are on the guy's side all the time. I don't think I've ever really met a cop that would ever be on my side. Even the female ones are kind of shady, you know. You gotta remember, now, the number one offender of domestic violence is cops. So just so you know, if you ever wonder why they don't help a woman who's going through that, that's probably why, because they're going home and doing it themselves. Why would they be hypocrites and, you know, arrest somebody for doing something they're just going to go home and do anyways, right? And again, I'm not saying all cops are bad and all cops do that. I do support the police department. I think that there's some really excellent cops. I mean, the ones around here make a whole boatload of money. You know, the NYPD makes far less than the police in this area, which is sad. Hi, living your best life. Good morning. So anyways, enough on that anyways, because today's not really about that. Um, so yeah, the whole adoption thing, you know, it's still a very taboo conversation, which it shouldn't be. It certainly shouldn't be. Sure, no problem, Heather. It shouldn't be. You know, it's not, you know, but the one thing that shouldn't be taboo is, you know, how we treat birth moms. You know, like I said, about 2 years ago, there were two videos that were released around the holidays. One was a couple who had just gotten a child for Christmas, and the only mention they made was how the birth mom just signed over her rights, and that's not something that's pretty cruel. I mean, there was very little, like, I mean, I didn't feel like there was any appreciation for what this woman, you know, gave to these people. They just said she just signed over her rights. Like, there's no thoughts of her feelings or, you know, anything like that. I mean, maybe she didn't want to be in the video, which is fine. You know, I wouldn't, if there was a video made, in my case scenario, would I want to be in it? No, but I would like a little more appreciation than just, oh, she signed over her rights. But all these people on Facebook are like all up in arms, so happy for these people. And I guess you could be, I mean, they've waited a long time to adopt a child, which is fine. But you got to remember there's a birth mom somewhere out there who is traumatized and living with the pain of giving that child to these people. People always seem to forget that there's somebody out there who did that until a birth mom makes a video about the pain and sadness of what she's going through. And in that case, they go and bash her for it. And that happened. Some woman, she posted a video on her Instagram account, and I guess the video went viral. All the news, people took it and, put it in their articles and things like that. So basically, her story was that she was young, and it was one of those situations. She was with a boyfriend, and they had mutually decided that they didn't they wanted to place a child up for adoption, but before the child passed away, the dad passed away of a heart attack, a freak accident. you know um yeah. But so she Hey Margaret, good morning. So this woman, she documented her goodbye to her son. That her and the father agreed. Apparently there's rumors that the father's parents didn't want her to do that, but it's really her choice. It's essentially her choice. And you know hi Angry Stewie, good morning. So she did that, and she documented her saying goodbye. And it was very heartfelt, and it's I mean, I totally felt her feelings there. I do believe she has an open adoption where she can visit with the child, which, I mean, that's brave. I couldn't do that, and I didn't want to do that because, you know, like I said earlier in the live, just because you sign a paper that says you could have that doesn't mean you can have that. Birth moms are taken advantage of all over the place. I didn't really want it to begin with, but after seeing a lot of people and and the experience that they go through with that, I wouldn't have wanted it anyways, because at any time, adoptive parents could pull the plug and say, no, I don't want that. They are legally bound to, well, we can't really be self-promoting, but I'll check you out after the live. But that's the thing is, you could sign a legal document that says, sure, I want visitation, but all it takes is, for them to turn around and say, no, this isn't for the best interest of this child for you to have visitation. So, and there's no courts or laws that's going to protect the birth mom. Absolutely not. There is not. It's not coming. As soon as that adoptive parent says no, that's it. They have the balls in their court. You signed your rights away. You did what you did what you had to do for that child, but you're gonna get screwed in the end. And I don't mean to put that out there because I don't want to scare any ladies out there, but you could potentially get screwed in the end. I wouldn't take that option, to be honest. I wouldn't take the visitation option. That's the one that seems to be the most troublesome for birth moms. The adoptive parents really don't want you visiting with their child because they don't want you, they don't want you being a part of it. They claim they do, but they don't. Because let's face it, if you become a part of their life, then they're going to have to, they're going to have to explain things to this child. And, I mean, from what I understand, according to the adoption agency that I went through, they counsel and they do make the parents do it, but they're not there when the parents tell them these things either, so there's no guarantee that that'll ever happen. I have no idea if Jillian knows anything. I mean, you can sign a form that says when the child turns the age of 18, they can come and find you. And I mean, I signed it, but I've been toying with the idea on retracting it because I just don't think I want to reopen that wound at all. It's hard enough to get through it as is, There's no counseling services. There's no programs. What you see on Teen Mom or Teen Mom OG, That's not for everybody. There's no birth mom retreats or I mean, maybe in some areas, but here, no. They actually have, and this is, I'm not gonna go with the I'm pro-life, pro-choice kind of thing, but this makes no sense to me. Is that there is actually an organization here? They're actually the ones who hooked me up with the adoption agency. Um, yeah, well, the adoption agencies glorify a lot of things to birth moms, making it sound good, anyways. Um, there's a lot of mess there. I don't think you got to remember that these people at the adoption agencies, they're not there for the birth mom. They play it out that way, but they're not. They're there to take that child and give it to somebody else. They don't care. They have no interest in birth moms. They don't care. They're getting the adoption agencies make loads of cash too. So it's not like, it's a money-making business, and yes, the Catholic Church is behind it. I'm sorry to say it that way. Most adoption agencies are run by the Catholic Church, and they do not care about birth moms. All they want is their bottom line. They make a lot of money doing it, and that's all they care about. The birth mom, that's why I'm saying they don't offer any services. Once that child is placed up for adoption and you sign your rights away, you are done. You are done to them. They don't call you, they don't check on you. They check on you like maybe the first week or so after you sign the paperwork. But after that, I haven't heard from these people. They don't call me like once in a blue moon to see how I'm doing. You're done. They don't care. They got their money. It's expensive to adopt children. Oh yeah, it's very expensive. It's a very tedious process. It's very expensive though. Yep. The adoption agencies make loads of cash. Birth moms don't make zip. I mean, they'll reimburse the birth mom for things like they'll reimburse you for like food or clothing or maybe your rent or something or medical bills if you have them or something like that. Hey Jeff, good morning. But that's about it. I mean, somebody said, oh, well, birth moms make like $50,000. No, they don't. I didn't make $50,000. There's a difference between a birth mom and there's a difference between a birth mom and a, what do you call it? A surrogate. Surrogates make money. That's selling babies. There's a difference between that and that. Birth mom is, that's selling a baby. Birth moms don't make anything. There's no adoption. There's no counseling programs. I always say that Planned Parenthood could save themselves if they were to create some kind of a adoption program. I think Planned Parenthood is a good organization for a lot of things, and there's no perfect organization out there. They may do things that we don't like, but at the same time, I think that they do things there that are actually really good. I grew up in a town. I grew up in the hood, and when I was a kid, when I was a younger kid, there was a lot of teen moms and things like that. Back then, Teen Mom could have 16 and Pregnant Teen Mom could have had a mini series. Hey Tommy, good morning. So, I do think, and then, Planned Parenthood had come up with a mobile unit where they would come to the schools and they would provide, birth control and teach, and there's a lot of education in the school about, that kind of stuff. So there has been a decline in teen pregnancies, and yeah, I love them too. I think they're awesome. I mean, when they gave me the Plan B pill, I mean, I kind of wish they had, told me how it works. But listen, you know what? They see a lot of people a day. And, it was my mistake to not research what I was doing either. I didn't know it was not for overweight people either. That's new. That's not even, good morning, Tommy. How you doing, my friend? Honestly, that's something you never even, I mean, I would never have known until I watched that show on Hulu. Who knew that you couldn't take a Plan B pill if you were overweight? That's something I totally didn't know. I mean, I know that birth control doesn't necessarily work if you have if you're on antibiotics, and I was currently at the time, because I was getting tonsillitis all the time. So it's but the thing is, but yeah, I think I really think that Planned Parenthood could really make a comeback if they were to come up with some kind of adoption program. it would really be really great. Maybe not an adoption agency, because like I said, the Catholic Church, I don't think they're going to be into working with Planned Parenthood at all. They say they have a lot to say about Planned Parenthood. So, you know, I really think that, they could offer some kind of adoption services, maybe counseling, or, you know, the thing is, though, I have been in some of these birth mom groups on Facebook, and they really turned me off to the idea of going to an in-person one, because some birth moms, their idea of how this works and what really happens, and listen, it's sad, because you hear a lot of stories of these women getting taken advantage of. So it's really hard that alone hits home. And when I got the job at Marshalls, I mean, not to hi Donnery love, good morning. Um this you know when I took the job at Marshalls, it's kind of like this, okay? You never really realize you're being abused somewhere until someone kind of like makes a point of saying, "Oh, well, this and this happens." Although because Marshalls, when I started working at when I got the interview at Marshalls, they were talking badly about Kohl's, because I worked for Kohl's last Christmas, and they were talking about how Kohl's abuses the employees there. Now, I never really thought I was abused until they kind of like, oh, well. But then I kind of really thought about it, and I'm like, well, that's not necessarily true either. Um, so, yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, I don't think I was abused at Kohl's. I mean, in regards to the adoption thing, I mean, do I think I was completely taken advantage of? No. However, there was, like I said earlier in the live, is that, adoptive parents could change the rules at any time. So there was a rule changed at one point without my knowledge until later after the fact. I'm supposed to get a letter and photos 2 times a year. Once would be, after Christmas. Once was supposed to be in December, and the other one's supposed to be January. One was supposed to be the beginning of December, and the other one is June, July. So what happens is the adoption agency spoke to the adoptive parents and made an agreement after the fact, without me knowing that it was going to be yeah. Oh yeah. Adoptive a birth parents is a lot. Definitely. Absolutely. You know what? It's a bunch of keyboard warriors. I mean, like I said, they don't offer any counseling services for birth moms. So, you know, um, you know, eh, you got that problem. There's no in-person birth mom support groups. However, with the magic of Facebook and social media, I feel like people now have diarrhea of the mouth anyways. So I'm not really sure, like I said, if I would want to go to, an in-person group now, because, I would be honest, at this rate, I'd be too afraid, because I have said many times, in these groups, like, I did the right thing, and there's actually birth moms who'll turn around and say, no, you didn't. You could have found a way to parent her. No, I couldn't. Because the thing is, like I said earlier in the live, I couldn't press charges for, what happened. And even if I did, that guy would still have rights. In this area, it don't matter what you did. A father has rights. And, there was a story years ago, and now I don't know names or exact people, but I had been told a story by a domestic violence advocate many moons ago, that there was a case in the courts where a child was sexually molested by her father, and both the child and the father didn't want a relationship with each other, but the court was forcing it, as it was considered therapeutic visitation. So that's the kind of world we're living in here. So, and of course, if I didn't press charges and I kept the child, then I would have to, in that case, file for, child support. And yeah, there's no easy way of doing that. It would not have worked out. It would have been a horrible situation. And, I already have 2 kids who are, going to two different homes. And let me tell you something. It's really difficult to parent a child that has the face of somebody you don't like or love, and or have severe, deep hatred for, you know. And, when I see the photos of this child, I'm like, there's no way I could have lived with her here. It would have been really difficult. It would have been really difficult. Plus it would have been difficult for her, the fact that, there's two different fathers here, and, God only knows that this guy would have had a relationship with her. And, in that case, she would see the other two go somewhere else. And, no. And honestly, Jacob is going through a lot of, these kids, my two kids are already going through, a lot of things. And to bring somebody else in here that would be going through something totally different, would not have been fair. Would not have been a fair situation for anybody here. I financially couldn't have done it, and my housing would have thrown me out. I would have gone homeless. So, there's that. There's, you know, sometimes, in life, yeah. Oh, thank you, Trish. I'm glad you stopped by. I'm only going to be here for another 15 minutes. I'm not sure if Jamie's going live this morning, but I guess we'll keep an eye out for that. But that's the thing is, you know, because they could do that because they didn't have proper house. That's how I went homeless the first time, is because the housing agency I was in didn't have a license for family housing. So they literally evicted me 3 weeks before Jacob was born. Thankfully, it didn't go to the courts or anything like that. But I had to live in a homeless shelter for 3 weeks. And, if you're homeless, the hospital can call CPS on you and cause a whole bunch of troubles. So, it was but this housing, they could have, because they didn't have proper space. No, that's not a white hair. I thought I had a white hair in my hand. I was going to get that. So, yeah, there's that. They can, because, there's just not enough. They can't. Well, maybe they would have worked with me on it. I don't know. It's, what? I don't even want to. I guess it's better for me to think that they would have. Because, there was no proper space at that house, and it is what it is. The only downfall of all this is that my kids really didn't know anything, and if they watch this video later, I guess I'll deal with it. But the other thing is, the hospital screwed up. The hospital screwed up because when you place a child up for adoption, the adoptive parents are supposed to automatically put that child on their insurance, and the adoption agent, the hospital, fudged that, and they put her on my my Medicaid case. So now so if anybody calls CPS on me, they have to ask about that, simply because they are worried that I might have buried her in the backyard. That's their words. That's their words. That's what CPS says, is that they have to ask every time they come here. And they don't do it very discreetly either. So, and the thing is, the reason my kids don't know is, yeah, that is creepy. Yeah, because CPS is the most perfect agency in the world, yeah. They don't make mistakes. Oh, we could talk about lots of mistakes about CPS, and these people aren't social workers. This one's really bothering me. They're not social workers, and half the people who work for CPS don't even have children or know anything about children. For the record, and this case, I actually was in the human services program for a while, and then I abandoned that to do something else. I thought I wanted to be a social worker, and I don't. I am more creative than anything, so I opted out and started going into the English department. And but anyways, if just for the record, CPS agents they're not social workers. All the requirement to be a child protective services agent is simply this: all you need is a bachelor's degree with 24 credits in psych and or sociology. So you just, you could have any degree. They even said that they have people who are, fashion design students, who are CPS workers. Someone like a teacher would make sense. Cops, I don't know. That's a little 50-50. I'm a little 50-50 on that. But, That's the truth, and that came directly from a CPS supervisor, who was a supervisor of their special victims unit here, and CPS makes a lot of mistakes. Uh, I could tell you that, and they allow a lot of mistakes too. They allow people to just make frivolous phone calls, and they don't press charges. I mean, if you made a false call to the police, that's a misdemeanor. At least there would be some kind of a charge for that. You know, but CPS, no, they allow a lot of things, and they make a lot of mistakes. Um, but that's that. Um, so back to that video that was posted on Instagram. There's the lady who posted the video on Instagram that saying goodbye to her son that she placed up for adoption. I think she ended up on the Megyn Kelly show even, and there's a lot of backlash to her. There was a lot of people out there who said she was lazy. She took the easy way out. Also, she's young and she gave the child up for adoption. She's gonna go back to partying, and you know what? Listen, that is the wrong thing to do. That's the wrong thing to say. You gotta listen. People are so against abortion at the moment, and listen, I'm not saying I'm for or against it. I just mind my business. I'm for mind my own business. Keep to myself and do what I gotta do. Um, so, but the people were like, they were just bashing this girl. They were calling her, lazy. It's a cop out. Why'd she do that? The father died. She should have kept the child. But the thing is, she had agreed with this boyfriend of hers that they were going to do that to begin with. So she just, continued with the plan. Hey John, that's okay. I don't know how long we're going to be here because I'm not sure if Jamie's going live this morning. But we'll be here till she does, and if she doesn't, then we could always just raid somebody randomly. Um, so I guess this is why, a lot of ladies don't talk about these things, because people are so quick to say it's a cop out, or I mean, I've never really had anyone say that to me. I've never said anything. I've never had anyone say that I took the easy way out or anything like that. I've lost friends over it because I wouldn't, well, we could do it during last night. I don't know what happened with that. I fell asleep, to be honest. I was catching up because Wednesday, I didn't go to, Tuesday night, I didn't go to sleep till 5 o'clock Wednesday morning. So I've been catching up on that. So last night, I think I fell asleep around, 10-ish. So I had the party yesterday and everything. So thankfully today is Friday. Isabel, she had a case of the shitties. So she didn't go to school today. These days with the kids, the school, see, here's the thing is, people are saying parents are a problem with, kids not taking care of their kids properly, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing is the schools, they don't want they don't want you sending your kids in for the most minor things. If your kid throws up in the morning, they don't want you to go, yeah, diarrhea, cha, cha, cha. Yeah, absolutely. Um, Although she's been fast asleep since she went diarrhea, so I'm not really sure she should have stayed home, but whatever. I'm not one to really argue or cause troubles or anything like that. But you know, uh, Jacob. See, Jacob. Sometimes he'll throw up in the morning because I give him his pills, his squeezy pill, and that kind of causes him to, vomit. So they try to it's not always the parents, although there are some parents out there who do use school as a form of, as a babysitter. And for me it's not that. It's, they need to go to school because nowadays if you get far behind, you're kind of lost, and you don't want to be in that situation because now they got this Common Core shenanigans. And Common Core is really, really hard. You don't really want, you really don't want that. You don't want to get far behind. So, um, that's the thing now is, the schools, they want your kids to stay home for the littlest things. The weirdest thing is, years ago they would say that if your kid's boogers are a bright color, like a bright green color, they don't want them going to school, but they want them to be clear boogers. But if they knew how medicine worked, clear boogers are actually the problem. The color boogers are a sign that the infection has been fought. You know. So, oh boy. So, let's see what else. So I shared this story today. Well, it could be, but that also is a sign that the infection's being fought. Clear means it's only just beginning. That's what they used to say anyway. Well, whatever. Teachers nowadays, I mean, where I live, see, here's the thing is where I live, teachers are the highest paid well, not where I live, my hometown, the hood town, the teachers are actually the highest paid teachers in the nation. You don't get the service that they get paid for, though. That's the one downside to it. Oh boy. But I'm sharing this story of mine because um there needs to be some level of awareness, because women are taken advantage of no matter what they do. But a birth mom, I mean, everyone's always up in arms for how to help, help the adoptees, but the birth mom is always, people forget they exist. We're forgotten. We're the forgotten part of the equation. People think that they just, you know, that they're just given a whole boatload of money, and then, you know, they just move on with their life, and no, no, it's not. That's not how it works. There's no glory in this. There's no way to. There's no happiness in this. Although they say adopted kids are actually. They actually survive. They actually suffer a lot of trauma too. I don't know. I don't like to think about that though. I think that they end up. I mean, nowadays, I mean, they're so picky about who adopts children nowadays. I would think that there would be less of an option to for a mistake there. But who knows? You never know. People put on a front too. You know. You know. People know how to put on a front when they want something. Although I would think social workers and therapists would. Hey, Winterfell's life. Um. Oh. But so yeah, it's there's no, no I don't know if there's really a happy ending for at least the birth moms anyways. I don't know about the whole truth about, adoption adoptees having mental health issues. I don't like to think about that. I like to think that she's in a happy home with two parents that could give her more than I can. And I don't think it's good for people to try to talk. I mean, if someone's so sold on this I was one time I was at the bagel shop or something, and this young girl, she wanted to place her child up for adoption, and her mother was being really nasty about it. She didn't want her to do it. But the thing is, if she's a child, if she's a child herself, and she feels she can't parent a child, you know, listen, if you can't do it, you shouldn't do it. That's how I look at it. If you can't do it, you shouldn't do it. You know? Yeah. That's true. That could be a difficult thing. However, well, nowadays I think it's different though, because you can they have you fill out everything. I mean, the only thing is I don't know anything about the rapist. I don't know what his medical history is at all. Couldn't tell you. That's probably the only information that they won't have access to. And at the rate I'm going, this guy's on Facebook with a whole another name. He's claiming to be somebody else. He's claiming his name is now Dominic when he told me his name was Ed. So, you know, I don't know. There's a lot going on there. So you never know. They probably will never find out. He's actually dating a new girl named Kelly, too. That's a little scary. That's a little scary. No, he said his name was Ed Holmes. I guess that's a little shady, huh? With the Holmes at the end. I don't know. Whatever. It's a mess. It's a mess. But, yeah, anybody could be a Holmes at this point. Don't forget the homies. Hey, you gotta throw some laughter in here somewhere. Oh boy. But see, that's the other thing I wanted to bring attention to was that, like I said, there's no programs for birth moms, but the program that referred me to the adoption agency. Get this, they have abortion. They actually have abortion support groups. Abortion retreats. You could, if you had an abortion, you can go on a retreat with other ladies who had abortions, but they don't have one for birth moms who give children up for adoption, because I guess having abortions are, far more traumatic than adoption. And I'm not saying I'm not downplaying either or, but it's like, that's kind of crazy. They have this idea, but they don't have that idea. You know what I'm saying? That's a little crazy, isn't it? You would think that they would, come to a common ground and have both. Yep. Yeah, here, yep. Yeah. And they this place will bash the hell out of Planned Parenthood. Because Planned Parenthood, I mean, listen, like I said, I think Planned Parenthood could really save themselves if they were to, create some form of an adoption program. Maybe not an adoption agency, because I don't think that's going to happen for them. I don't think they can have an adoption agency because the adoption agencies are usually run by the Catholic Church. So I don't think that's going to work out for them. But if they were to come up with some adoption counseling programs, or something like that, would be really cool. I don't think that they will, but I'm tossing it out there. I'm tossing it out the hat that's an option to save their agency. Is to come out with an adoption program. But I don't think they will. I really kind of don't think so. It'd be great though. It'd be smart. So I don't know if Jamie is going live. Probably not, if she hasn't already. And we only have one person here, so I am going to go end the live now so I can get the day going. And I have to go see if the Dum Ryan's outside in the mailbox. I know, that sounds really terrible, that Dum Ryan's out in the mailbox. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to go live later tonight. Probably not, because, hey, Matthew, just simply because with kids nowadays, you can't. I don't know, maybe I can, maybe I can't. Not sure. So anyways, guys, I will see you guys later. either today or tomorrow. Let me just see. I don't think. Let me just see, because I didn't get a. I didn't get any thing about that. Oh, oh yeah, it's cold here too. Yeah, it's cold. Let's see. Yep, she's not live now. Okay, guys, so I will see you guys. You know what? Let's wait. Hold on. Let's do a little. Let's do a little raid. What do you guys think? I think Carter's Eats is live. Do we want to do a Miss Kelly raid over to Carter's Eats? What do y'all think about that? Well, you want to say go wish her a good morning? She's a lovely lady. Let's see if we can drop her link in here. Y'all want to go say good morning to Carter's Eats? She's got 9 people over there. We can do her solid. What do you think? We could do it. Let's drop her link. We'll do a Miss Kelly raid. What do y'all think? We're gonna do a Miss Kelly raid for Carter's Eats? Yeah, she's cool. I haven't been over to her live in a while, but she's really a sweet lady. Hi, Big E's support group. We're about to go do a raid. We're gonna go raid Carter's Eats. I'm trying to get her link up in here. All right, let's see. Let's go say good morning to Carter's Eats. I think she would really be really happy about that. So we're gonna drop her link. This laptop is so slow. Let's see. Come on. Come on. Copy the link. Oh, please hold. My laptop decides it doesn't want to do... Oh, come on. Don't do that. Oh, there it goes. Yay. Yeah, we're going to go raid Carter's Eats. I think she'd really, really appreciate it. She's such a sweet lady. All right. I dropped her link. I think I got it. Okay. Let's all go raid Carter's Eats. Say good morning. God bless. I know she's a Christian, so let's go say good morning to Carter's Eats. There's her link. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.